That's going around in that green paper, which is also under Pakowhia. So just have a look at that green folder.
269.
Yeah.
Yep.
So have you had any advice on what it takes to change a body corporate to a trust?
No, well that's what we're doing.
Is that where you're up to?
Yeah, that's we're going to look at booking an appointment to actually go and see the Māori Land Court first, just to make sure that we're not listed under the Māori Land Court, and then we'll probably go from there. We have gone over to Potts and Hodgson, and so we have been sort of in discussion with them. But I think once we go to the Māori Land Court with this documentation, just to make sure that they do everything they can do to find us, then we may have to look at talking with the likes of Potts and Hodgson.
Yeah, just get some recommendations and find out what it actually means then.
Yeah, yeah.
That's good.
You see, because we removed all the records that Potts Ian Peterson had for us.
Oh, yes.
It was transferred to us, all his records.
Were those the ones that were sitting at Potts and Hodgson?
In relation here.
Oh,
Ian
okay.
Peterson. Yeah, that's why I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they did tell us that they had been uplifted.
Yep. And it's in their safe in the hope.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The thing is that we're open this discussion over here, and let's get all our ducks all lined up.
Yeah.
So that
But those papers that were uplifted from Potts and Hodgson, they weren't just for 269.
It's related. The reason why we brought a case here, because there were some buggers all playing up along here.
Yep.
So my man was still alive then. So I made to fix these buggers to take the which is the council to court.
Okay.
And that's what we did.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you won't have any problems with us getting copies of those? Only because I know that with the documentation that we have got, there were files in there not just pertaining to 269, but to 220, 221 and 270 as well, according to that documentation that we've got.
Yeah. Well, for those guys who are on the Hospital Committee, is Pakowhia Corpu is the chair. Mike Collier is I'm the treasurer. Then you got Danny Koipi. All those guys all got ties up here.
Yeah.
And so they all know what's going on. And as far as they're concerned, when it comes to supporting Pakowhia, when it comes to some problems, we've already got carpenters looking out for it.
Yeah.
So once we see what the building engineers report is, then we can see what kind of assistance we can give.
What's that for? Is that for here?
Yeah.
So I think what they're asking for, Larry, is for the documentation that's not related to 269 then, if the rest of it can be returned to the committee so that they can undertake this investigation to find out where they stand.
Yeah, well, the main thing is we don't have to pay rates. That's the main thing.
No, the main thing is that they need the information.
Yeah.
And so that's what I think.
Yeah, that's all right. I'll find what's up.
How soon can that be ready? How soon can you pass that on?
Bring some couple.
To our secretary.
Just be some. How much and what?
How soon can you pass over the documentation to the secretary?
Oh well, this week I'm tied up because I got tomorrow I've got a
Is
thing.
there any way that you can pass it on to me and I can get a photocopy and pass it on to the secretary?
Geez, that might cost you a couple of copies.
I think you owe me a couple already.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'll be there in the morning because first thing in the morning up to about 12 and then I've got to go.
Okay, well that's lovely. Yeah. You know where my office is and I'm open until 10:30. I'll be waiting for you.
So that's good. So at least we know where the documentation is. Larry has it and he's going to give it to you and that'll just sort out that part of it and then you guys can carry on and just check with Gisborne if there is any record. If there's no record, then we'll just do a corporate option and find out and get some understanding of what that means to be a body corporate and if it's relevant and if that needs to be changed or not. So that's really good. It's good to have everyone at the same table at the same time so we can tick the boxes. That's great.
Can I just add to that just while we're talking about it? So the whole reason, or where this all sort of came about, is because we want to start, obviously, looking for funding. So there's a couple of things that's involved with that, and it came from, I can't remember, I think it might have been our last committee meeting. So if you're not aware, our charities status has been taken away from us. So we want to get that reinstated, the charitable, you know what I mean?
Sure.
So to do that, we need to hand in our charter, the trust charter. And when we went through the charter, there's just a couple of recommendations that we'd like to pass on to the trust to have a look at and see if we can update that charter with some of our recommendations, and you guys will probably find some stuff as well. So before we can start even putting our feelers out and looking for funding, we need to have a look at the charter, have the charter updated, or at least looked at, and there's just a couple of forms that need to be signed for the charities committee as well. But all of that can't be done until the charter's been looked at and upgraded as well. So that's probably the next thing on the priority list for us as far as starting to apply for funding and that goes.
So that sounds to me like about a 6-month window to do all that admin.
That's realistic. Yeah.
Okay, so just one thing at a time and just check them off as you go and just keep going forward.
Yeah.
It's like when you look at it from a my land court point of view, it's not silly to be looking at the corporation just for this section here, and leave that part alone. And when our time is, we're ready to do the marae, we'll put a meeting house in there, and that's because what the guys told me in Rotorua is that you're obliged, you're currently be obliged if you're going to put it in a marae reserve. And so we say, if that's the case, he said, well, you make sure you identify like this section and those sections here. So we could fire ahead here, concentrating on the hall,
Yeah.
and while that's happening, the committee will then be getting making sure we've got all our ducks lined up, so we can just file it to come in like
Yeah.
Sorry, but wouldn't it sound, from where I'm sitting, it would be better to do one thing all in one hit, as opposed to having the ducks lined up. Yeah, sure, that's fine, but it should be done one hit. Everything should be done. That's the way I see it.
Yeah, kia ora. I'll say that.
Because if we have a look, so when the charter goes around, the charter is in reference to all of the, it's in reference to all of the blocks. So if we look at the charter and have a look at that and change it, then we're going to, I don't know what the repercussions of that would be towards our trust, like changing the charter so much like that, because all of our paperwork that we've got, it states that all of the blocks are managed by here, and if we change the charter, it's not going to align with what we want to do. Like so if we separate 220, 221 and those ones to leave them for later, it's not really going to make sense.
No, anyway, the main thing is let's have a look at the detail.
Yeah.
And let's have the detail and we can make up our mind.
220 and 221 and 270 are together.
And at the moment, and at the moment there's actually a misconception that there's a trust operating in care of it, when it's actually seems to be yet to be proven, but it sounds like it's a body corporate that's been set up to administer the hall.
That's where the confusion is.
So we're just about there for clarity. Well done for the work you guys have put in so far, because that's not an easy journey, obviously, from how disparate all the information's been. So well done in if the committee can just continue to pursue that, that would be really productive. So that, like you say, Larry, we can move on. We can't move on until they've done all this groundwork in administration. So if you can help provide that information, that will help the job.
So actually, can I suggest then, because of the power cut, I couldn't photocopy the charter. So can I suggest that I'll email it or give it to all of the trustees or anybody that wants to have a look at it, and at the next meeting, because the committee that was here a month ago, we already had a look for it ourselves, and we've got a copy somewhere to say what we wanted to amend, but we need the trustees to look at it and anybody else that didn't come to that meeting. So if I email or give access to everybody to give the charter out, then at the next meeting we can go over the charter, because I don't think it's going to be time friendly today, because if we just pass around one copy, then it's not going to be. No, it's not efficient. Yeah. So I
through you, Peter, that makes sense. The trustees that gone through it have recorded it, and the others, because it's the trustees who got this okay, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, because they are the responsible trustees. Exactly.
Yes, they're responsible. If they're not, why are they telling anyone else to have a look and you change it? That's not what it is.
It's just that this will lose some relevance at the moment because it's ad hoc and it's not operating as a body corporate, which it's registered as. So that's why I don't know if I'd put a lot of work into this yet. It's like putting a horse before the cart, because until we work out what's really going on, this is like the icing on the cake.
Yes.
So it's good to get a hold of it now, I think, and for people to read it, because, like you say, if we can sort out if that's the style of thing that we all believe and wish it to be, then that's good. But that's going to come in 6 months' time, not next week. So if we can just stay focused, I think, on this other stuff in the meantime. I know it's good to have a look up and see where you're heading. That's where we're heading, but it sounds like there's still a lot of water to go under the bridge before we can get this far. It's just good to recognise the trustees and have it documented here that we're sure of who the trustees are and that we've got a charter ready to go, but we need to do our housework and keep tidying it up. The other thing that is just still in my mind is that we've got some basic maintenance and repair that we've talked about at some committee meetings that, and especially as we can see the scrub weather that's coming through at the moment, our hall continues to be prone to degradation from that sort of thing, and I know that Sid's worked hard to try and do some remedial work, but I don't know, Larry, if because we spoke about this at one of our earlier committee meetings about even just some battening for the holes in the wall, and so Robert Salwan, I think, came and did an inspection and provided some recommendations on just basic repair for the broken external walls, and so he did that at no cost and on a full-time basis, and so I think that information is there. So I don't know if we want to talk about that today or whether we're just going to refer that back to the committee, because it's, I think the committee's been a little bit bogged down with not being able to make any progress because they asked for the things to be done and they have been. We've got the engineers' reports and recommendations and there's voluntary labour and stuff ready to do it, but Larry, have you got any more progress on just that remedial work?
Yeah, well, the thing is that we don't like throwing good money after bad. You know, if we put up something on the wall there, and everything's crashing down. So, especially now with all this health and safety and all that, we've had a couple of guys come in to have a look. Because if we wanted to do a job, we want to do the job properly. So what we want is, what Hospital wants actually, is the building report, engineer's report. So once we get the building engineer's report, we'll come along and do an assessment, what it will cost, and then we've got a board meeting coming up in Hospitals on August 14th. We, like what we want to see is
we'll flick that across to you.
Yeah, and then Mike Collier would make sure that the guys the builders who come in to have a look will give us a quote, and then of course we'll go to definitely.
Should I email it to you?
Or do you want to take this copy here?
One copy there.
You can take that copy.
You might as well take it.
Yeah, so the thing is that it's mainly to do with this wall over here. So what, for us is that we have to do the framing, we have to take out the framing because it's all pedo.